How's it going today? Today we're going to be splitting up that walnut tree that y'all saw in the last video, and it's still the same day for me, but I'm going to divide this up into two videos. So we cut the tree down and buck it up in one video, and this is the second video. We're going to process it, split it, stack it, get all cleaned up and everything. And I want you to guess, how much wood do you think is in that walnut tree? Put it down in the comments. You saw the ash tree already, so I think this walnut tree is a little bit smaller, but I'm thinking about a rick and a half. But put it down in the comments and I'll show you a picture when it's done and all stacked. So here we go. I'm going to get going splitting on this stuff and get the splitter fired up, and hope you all enjoy the video. Here's where we left off yesterday. Now, this is a pile of wood I'm left with here. And there's a little bit of round stacked up over there under my porch. That's the smaller stuff that I'm not going to split. But I think I'll probably get a pretty good rick of wood out of this. Now, I'll probably take a tape measure out and then put that in the description. Alright, y'all have seen the walnut getting split up there. I'm not going to just run this thing out of batteries and film the whole thing, but I'm going to finish splitting it up and then I'll put it on a high speed of me stacking it, and we'll see how much wood was in that tree. So you can compare it to that ash tree and we can kind of see how much wood is in these trees. I think this walnut tree is a little bit smaller than that ash tree. Probably about a rick, maybe a little bit more. That ash tree had about a rick. It had 8 feet of a rick and another about 5 feet of another rick. So this one will probably be a full rick, and then, you know, maybe 2 or 3 feet of an extra of the next rick. So let me finish splitting her up and then we'll put it on a high speed of me stacking and we'll measure it up. All right, we got her split up out here, and that tree was not a healthy tree. I mean, kind of felt bad a little bit taking it down. Not really though, because it was dropping walnuts all over the place, and it was rotten in the stump. There was several places with some ants in it. Now, I don't know what kind of ants they were. They had a red abdomen with red and black, little tiny ants. Just gobs of them came out of this one little spot. But there was several places in it that were rotten. There was water collecting in it. It was just punky with ants in it. Not the whole tree. Now, you know, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of good wood in it, but the stump was certainly rotten and just really waterlogged. Something has changed in that forest back there. If you go to my sinkhole video, there's water under that ground, that the water table has changed, and a lot of those trees are dying. That walnut tree was just root rot all in the stump, and there was moss growing all over it. It was real wet and mushy. But I'm glad I saved it, because I mean there was a lot of good wood in it, but it was time to go. That's why it was breaking off up there at the top. I told you it had a widowmaker in it. I didn't like working under that. It was hanging over my backyard, right where my wood pile is, and it had a big branch hanging off, just broke off, and once again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. When trees break like that, there's usually a reason. They're sick. They got bugs, root rot, something. I mean, when they break in the wind, there is almost always a reason. Whenever I see that happen, there's ants in them or something. So that wasn't a good tree, but it's going to make some great firewood. Let's get her stacked up here and see how she did. I think we got a solid rick out of her. I'm going to put you on a high speed and get her stacked up here. And also, I got to start a fire and burn some ants, because I threw all that wood right here in my fire pit, and I don't want those things spreading around. So it's starting to get warm where they'll get out and get moving around, and I just want to go ahead and burn them. So I got to get a fire going.
When will you ever learn? 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 Makes me, it's what you gotta do. But it's your questions and you put on through. But don't mind me, say come on me, said makes me.
Well, there's our stack. It's pretty big. It goes all the way against the wall because I didn't want it to fall over, so you got to kind of support it over there. But that's a good 15-20 feet, and it's almost as tall as I am, 6 feet. So it's about a rig and a half. And the fire's struggling a little bit right now. I dumped all that trash on it, but hopefully it'll come through. I got to burn all the ants. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching the video again. I'm trying to keep up with 3 a week. Not sure how long I can do it, but I'm trying. I might just have to throw something together sometimes, but we're all worn out over here and our muscles are sore, so we're going to call this a day here and get some rest. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share the video and certainly subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing, and I appreciate the support.